I, Maya Millette, declare as follows. I am the respondent in the above referenced matter. I have personal knowledge of the facts set forth in this declaration, and if called as a witness, could and would testify competently to such facts under oath. It is my desire to have peace, safety, stability, health, prosperity, love, and countless blessings for myself, my wife, for my children, my family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, my community, and people around me. It is also the desire of my heart to protect and defend my children, my wife, my parents, myself, my home, from this dangerous, toxic environment and people. Unfortunately, I have been prevented from enjoying these blessings as a result of my wife's leaving our home and has not returned. To complicate matters, my wife's family and their attorney have been appearing on television, uttering statements implying and highly suggesting to the public and the media that I am to be blamed for her 6-month-long disappearance. I am not responsible for her disappearance, and I have fully cooperated with the police investigation. The Chula Vista Police Department spokeswoman said there was no indication of foul play. I am not a suspect according to the police authorities, but nevertheless, the Chula Vista Police have searched my home twice. First, January 23rd, 2021, the second in May 7th, 2021, and removed many things, including my car and all my guns that they took from the large safe deposit metal container and many other things. I am not in possession of any guns at the present time, but I am afraid for my safety and the safety of my family and my home because I've been receiving threatening, angry, insulting, accusatory, malicious, and hateful messages from people. The only words to come out of their mouths were negative and derogatory statements toward me. These people are even implicating my parents, who are retired and have done everything they can to protect and serve our family. Their language revealed the venom that emanated from their hearts. My neighbor even mentioned about mysterious bang sounds recorded behind our residence on the night my wife was last seen. An attorney working for my wife's family even came to my house in order to gain entry and access to our house. The attorney pretended that he was from the Naval Criminal Investigative Service. He appeared several times on television and made statements suggesting that I am responsible for my wife's absence. My wife's sister and family have also made negative statements against me. This created an environment of hate and anger against me and motivated people to leave threatening and malicious messages on our doorstep, front door, text messages, and through the mail. I have received recorded statements from a man who states that he will get me and that I could not hide, that he's not playing with me, and he states that he knows more about me, where I live, my social security number, my bank account. Furthermore, he states that he's watching me and that even if the court will get me off, he will get me after court. My wife approved of my gun collections, and we have thoroughly protected, defended our family from harm. Now my family and I live in painful, hostile, and harassing environment. I'm saddened and afraid with all these events, but when will this stop? How do I protect myself? How do I protect my family? Do I have the right to defend myself and the lives of my loved ones? Every day now I feel unsafe. I have served in the U.S. Navy for some years and remember the strict gun safety drills I learned. I value the right to own a gun and believe it should come with safety measures like background checks and secure storage. I have done both requirements, and I make sure my children and others are safe. In fact, I have carried a gun safety card. The testimonies and narration of the police does not provide the truth and does not help in locating my wife, does not resolve life's problems. I want the court to know that I have not met nor have any past or present communications with San Diego Police Detective Harlow, whose declaration has been filed with the court. I was not given or served with the attachments 1 and 2 as stated in his declaration under penalty of perjury, and thus cannot completely respond to his allegations, and I ask to be given more time to respond when these documents are served to me. May this serve as my response to the City of San Diego Police. I have not resided nor worked in the City of San Diego. My children, my parents, my wife, and I have been residents of Chula Vista for over 10 years, and I currently work for the United States of America inside the U.S. Naval Hospital compound at Balboa Medical Center. I am not violent or dangerous person. I have not hurt nor harmed anyone. I'm a law-abiding citizen who gets up in the morning, cooks breakfast for my 3 children, ages 4, 9, and 11. I take 2 of them to school and pick them up in the afternoon after school. I cook and feed them and clean up my house after work and take care of my children. I also take care of my parents when they are sick. My father was sick and hospitalized in January 2021, just about the same time my wife left our home. My wife's whereabouts remain a mystery. Yes, I collect guns as a hobby and interest with my Uncle Ricky Lincoln, Uncle Rick, who also collects these guns. My guns are registered and I have gone through the required background checks. I have 17 guns that have all been taken by the Chula Vista Police. I have no other guns inside my house. We're not allowed to bring guns at work. My Uncle Rick had my AR-15 that are incomplete and disassembled guns that nobody can use. Uncle Ricky had my stripped down lowers and I have the uppers, but these were also taken by the Chula Vista Police during a search of his home on or about April 1st, 2021. According to Uncle Rick, the Chula Vista peace officers did not provide him a list of the things they removed from his home during the search. He believes the police took all the guns, including 5 of his father's guns that were given to him after his father passed away in 2002, and other items. There's no significant danger to me having access to firearms. It is merely the opinion of Detective Harlow, who I have never met. My firearms are not assault weapons and were not considered assault weapons when I legally purchased them through an authorized FFL. All my gun purchases have gone through the California 10-day waiting period and dealer record of sale process. All my firearms are serialized. I store my long rifles disassembled, keeping 1 or 2 fully built for family and home defense purposes. I did not allow a third party to possess my firearms without a legal transfer. My Uncle Rick had 5 incomplete AR Armalite rifles that only consisted of the strip lower, trigger assembly, and buffer tube. These are not able to be fired or have been fired since being put together. The following unregistered assault weapons do not belong to me: an Aero Precision Model SPR-2 semi-automatic rifle, a High Point Firearm Model 4595 semi-automatic rifle. Only the JD Machine Model TR that was legally seized by Chula Vista Police is mine. During the first search of my home, I was never shown or given a copy of the so-called search warrant, so I have not been given a copy of the list of items and personal property taken that day. At that time, I was instructed by the police officers to open my locked, large gun safe deposit container where my firearms were located during the beginning of the search. without a camera, and they finally searched the safety deposit container after several hours have passed, making it look like the safety deposit container was already open during the search. The long rifle in question was purchased legally and is in configuration, was legal when I built it years ago. After many years of compounded California bans on certain features, my long rifle may be construed as non-compliant to a California Penal Code 305 1.5a. Again, I have never taken my long rifles out of my home to shoot, and these have never been fired. Also, I keep most of these disassembled in the locking safe deposit container. The Aero Precision and High Point rifles that were seized at my Uncle Rick's house are not part of my collection, but the police indicated in their request for orders that this belonged to me. 4 firearms were taken during the first illegal search of my home, to include 1 serialized and registered Armalite rifle, 2 registered Gen 4 Glock 26 pistols, and 1 registered Mossberg shotgun. 5 incomplete serialized and registered Armalite rifle lowers were taken from my Uncle Rick's home. These were purchased legally. 6 more registered and serialized firearms were taken from my home during a second search, to include 4 Glock pistols, 1 long Savage arm hunting rifle with scope, and 1 serialized and registered Armalite rifle. I stored the last 2 Mossberg shotguns with an authorized FFL dealer. I could have stored all my ammunition, magazines, parts, and firearms if given the chance. Instead, I was served with the GVRO on the day of expiration, and I was not given the opportunity to store these, thus being taken away by law enforcement. I was also detained illegally during the second search of my home. Chula Vista Police pulled me over on the 5 freeway in San Diego. I understand that only San Diego PD, Sheriff, or Highway Patrol are able to pull me over on the freeway in San Diego. Chula Vista Police held me for 6 hours while my home was being searched, and they threatened me with being arrested or detained even longer if I insisted on going home to my children, my parents, and my house. I was allowed by the Chula Vista Police to go home close to midnight. The Chula Vista Police searched my house on May 7, 2021, 4 months after Maya's disappearance, and while I was away from my home. On that same day, the Chula Vista Police stopped me on the freeway and told me to exit at the National Avenue from Interstate 5 freeway. After I left work from U.S. Naval Balboa Hospital, they refused to allow me to go home to be with my children and parents. During the search, told me they will arrest me if I will go home. That very moment, they also refused to allow me to speak to my lawyer. So I was detained for 6 hours and was not allowed to go home until midnight. Peace officers searched my house, broke and destroyed bedroom door and walls, and left our house in a chaotic and disturbing state that horrified my children, parents, and me. The serialized JD machine TR2 was purchased legally through JD Machine and went through 10-day FFL process. It has never left my home, never been fired. It's part of my collection. The other 2 guns seized from my Uncle Ricky's house are not part of my collection. My wife left the family and has not returned. However, she would not have allowed me to have this collection if she believed our children or the general public would be in danger. I will not have this gun collection if my children or the community will be endangered. My children are not allowed to open the locked safe deposit metal container. They understand they are not to handle the guns. I believe I have done everything in my power to keep my family safe. On rare occasion, I clean the safe deposit metal container, put the unloaded guns for a short time on the table, and the guns are returned inside the safe container. None of the firearms are loaded when these are out on the table. Generally, I keep my firearms disassembled, leaving 1 or 2 assembled for family and home protection. Our children are completely supervised, and this occurs by me, by my wife, by my parents, and they have been guarded and given some education about gun safety. They're not allowed to handle any of the guns. Our children understand they're not allowed to touch the guns. My parents lived with us all through the 10 years and helped take care of the children. They are also present in the house to supervise the children. Our children have never been harmed. There has not been any violence. It is our continuing prayer that my wife will come home. In fact, the Christmas tree that she decorated last Christmas is still standing in our living room. I purchased these guns a long time ago as collections, approximately over 15 years ago, and if need be, to protect myself, my family, and our home. I believe it's legal for me to have these. I do not want to disobey any laws. To my knowledge, I have registered all of the serialized guns and have complied with the requirements as a gun owner, and if need be, or if there are other new requirements, I will follow all new requirements that I am required to comply to. I did not complete firearms to friends, but only parts to family for cleaning purposes only. None of my ARs have ever been fired. I legally purchased 2 more pistols to add to my collection through the California process of DROs and through the FFL, together with a background check after the first search warrant. Detective Harlow keeps referring to my firearms as illegal, which these are not and were not at the time of purchase and configuration. Perhaps over time, as California started banning certain features of the Armalite rifle, the configuration of 2 seized can be misconstrued as non-compliant due to California codes. Recently, a California judge just overturned the ban, making the 2 long guns that were seized by Chula Vista Police at my home no longer are considered illegal assault rifles. The features that are in question are only cosmetic, do not enhance the ability of the firearms. All my long guns are 1 shot per trigger pull and are center fire rifles. These are not machine guns. I have no unregistered firearms. All are serialized and all have gone through DROs, through the FFL, and my background has always passed. To my knowledge, possession of high-capacity magazines is not illegal. I do not allow a third party to possess firearms without a legal transfer. I no longer have any firearms in my possession. All are in custody of law enforcement and or stored with a licensed gun dealership. Preventing me from purchasing firearms would violate Second Amendment, not only to be able to protect my family, myself, and our home, but violate one of our unalienable rights as Americans, depriving me with my pursuit of happiness. I'm an avid gun collector, and the firearms seized at my home twice are considered family heirlooms and have sentimental value. My children do not have access to my firearms. They are trained in regards to gun safety. They have not attempted to handle firearms at our home or open the safe deposit metal container to handle the guns. On or about February 3rd, 2021, a referral was received by Child Welfare Services of San Diego County alleging abuse and or neglect of our children by unknown. A protective service personnel have been to our home to check on the welfare of our children. They have investigated thoroughly and arrived at a conclusion that my children are safe, healthy, and well cared for. So here's Exhibit A, a photo of his gun safe. Exhibit 4, it's looks like a text message on January 25th that says, "Where is Maya? Is this your friend or someone who helped you? What's wrong with you? You don't appear okay." Exhibit 5, February 4th, text message, "Where's your wife? Not looking too good for you." Exhibit 6, April 9th, text message, why'd you kill her, Larry? Exhibit 7, May 11th. It's time to heal, brother. We need to move forward. We need to bring Maya home. You have dragged too many of your family along already. As I mentioned before, karma always gets you no matter what, in this life or afterlife. Do not take away the kids' access to their cousins. They usually play with them before. Now do not even hear them talk anymore. Have dragged too many of your family along already. As I mentioned before, karma always gets you no matter what in this life or afterlife. I'm giving you a chance. Remember what I said on January 24th this year. Read back the text. Exhibit 8. Hey Larry, it's time for us to bring Maya home. Do you have anything to do with this? We need to bring her home and lay her to rest peacefully. Where did you go Friday, and why did you leave your phone home turned off? What did you do during that period of time? You did not just go to the beach. Exhibit 9. January 30th, come back. April 5th. Hey Larry, I hope you're doing okay. Can you call me please? My heart is breaking for your family. Exhibit 10. Please, Larry, if you really want to help find your wife, reach out to me. This has to come to an end. If not for your wife, do it for your kids. Let's bring her home, Larry. Her parents deserve a proper burial. My neighbors gave me the pictures and told me he's also been hanging around our neighborhood. He's been defaming me and posting all kinds of implications all over social media. My neighbors also send me these. This car parked in front, across the street in front of your house. Writing stuff, looking closely to your house, then left after 5 minutes. Exhibit 11. The handwritten note. Larry, you coward, tell us where she is. We all know you did it. No Valentine's Day for you. Exhibit 12 was something in the mail. Dated February 24th. Larry, you have dishonored your family. If anyone respected you, that is no longer the case. It probably does not even matter to you. The person you are now is the person you have always been. You never cared, nor loved May. You have not been on any searches, not returning phone calls or texts, not allowing the kids to be with loved ones. Pray you are not contaminating them like you have contaminated yourself. How dare you, and what a coward you are to have your 4-year-old son, if you can only explain about January 8th, unknowingly be an accomplice to your selfish crime. According to your fabricated story, you and he left for Solana Beach, likely just another lie, at 6:30 a.m. and returned at 5 p.m. Where did you really go? Where did you take and leave May? Your phone was off, so you hope your steps would not be traced. You'd be surprised what law enforcement can do with technology and surveillance throughout the neighborhood, city, and state. Truly are a coward and not worthy to have the title husband or dad. Who leaves their phone these days? That means you are irresponsible, leaving your 2 girls with no way to contact you. Not to mention, you would be blowing up May's cell phone. Really, who do you think you're fooling? You are only lying to yourself. Everyone else sees through all the holes. Maybe this is why you don't participate in any searches. You would be asked numerous questions and unable to keep your lies consistent. Your words are empty and they have no value. What does your mother and father think of you? They cannot possibly believe your lies. I hope they have enough honor and have you tell the truth. Maybe they're part of the crime you have committed. It would have been better to be divorced. Co-parenting would have been a better option. Did you accidentally harm May, or did you purposely plan it? Why not send an anonymous note to law enforcement and inform them where May is? Though you are guilty, I'm sure this so-called justice system will allow you to plead bargain. The only Best thing about you obtaining a lawyer is the plea bargain. May had no bargain and saved taxpayers money and time. You're heartless and selfish, having your 11-year-old daughter believe her mom would miss her birthday. I'm sure deep in her heart, she knows you're lying. If you truly love them, allow them to enjoy their childhood. Don't rob and deprive them of it. Only God and you know the lies you're telling them. Your reputation as a dad is ruined by you. Only God can truly forgive you. My prayer for you is that nothing you touch prospers or grows. May you have no rest, no honor, no hope, nor any joy. May all your days and nights be filled with misery, until you let it be known where May is. No prayer of goodness will be said for you. You're a very weak person. You will remain trapped. You have no honor and no respect. A caring citizen. And on March 5th, 2021. Well, Larry, it will be 2 months without May. At this point in time, it does not matter what you did. What matters is you tell where she is. Why are you putting the kids through this agony? Why are you putting those who truly love May through this agony? You cannot, or can you, be this heartless, this inhumane, less than human being? As a husband, you were to protect your wife and family. You protected neither. You can't protect anyone. How do you look at your kids and not have compassion or care about them? Their heart is broken. They hurt. You took their mom away from them. May loved them dearly. But you did not and never did. You're not allowing them to contact nor visit their aunts, uncles, cousins, grandpa, grandma. Why? What are you so afraid of? You're truly hurting them, not protecting them. Why have you chosen to treat May, the mother of the kids, like trash? As though no one loved or cared for her. She deserves better. People that know her and don't know her prove they love and care about her by continuing to search for her. You won't even search for her, nor allow her daughters to participate in the searches. What does that say about you? Suspicious is what it says. You have no right to discard her as trash, unlovable, unworthy, as she rots away. You owe it to yourself, the kids, May's family, and the public to say where May is, so she can have a decent burial. She deserves it. You will remain unworthy, no respect, no honor, until you reveal where she is. You'll never ever be free until you tell where May is, where she can be located. While on this earth and dealing with the system, tell where May is and accept a plea bargain. You are a condemned man. Your soul is condemned. Only God can restore you by asking for forgiveness. The court can and offer you a plea bargain. Your co-workers have zero and no compassion for you. Character at work is tarnished forever. You've tarnished your community in Solana Beach residents. Solana Beach residents are not pleased that you tainted their city by stating you drove with your son to their city. They're not pleased. What do your parents think of you and the dishonor you've brought upon the family name? I hope they're not part of May's disappearance and are encouraging you to tell the truth. The Millette family name is tarnished by you. There is no honor in the family name. Restore honor to the family. You have no right to be called a dad. If, and again I say, if you truly love the kids, maybe you don't, or never loved them, tell the truth. Do your plea bargaining so families can begin to heal. Reveal where May is. Bring closure to everyone.